What is the chain rule when you try and take a derivative? Well, the chain rule is a very misunderstood rule. Basically, all it means is after you use some other rule, do the chain rule every time. So say, for example, you have y equals maybe like 2x plus 6 to the fifth power. You look at this and say, overall, I have something to a power. That means let's use the power rule. So the derivative will be 5 times that same stuff to the sixth power, or plus 6 to the fourth. I just used the power rule. But the chain rule says every time you ever use a different rule, multiply by the derivative of the stuff. In this case, that's 2x plus 6. So I would multiply by 2. So in this example, the derivative would be 10 times 2x plus 6 to the fourth. But it goes beyond that. Let's say I were given, say, the sine of x squared. Well, the same thing applies. Overall, I have the sine of stuff. So I'm going to use the sine rule that says the derivative of sine is cosine. But since I used a rule, immediately, every time, I'm then going to multiply by the derivative of the stuff. Now, you're probably thinking, wait a second, that's not right. Sometimes we don't have to use the chain rule, right? Well, let's take a look at that. Let's say I have y equals x to the fourth, and I want to take its derivative. Well, the derivative is just 4x cubed. I didn't take the chain rule, right? Or did I? Well, if I were to keep going and do the chain rule, I'm now going to multiply by the derivative of what's inside. So what is the derivative of x? Well, the derivative of x is 1. So actually, even here, I like to think of it as using the chain rule. You just can get away with not in simple cases. But I'd recommend you just think of it every time you apply any other rule, you always use the chain rule after you're done. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel. That way you won't miss out on any more helpful hints.